Hey everyone, so it is time for this week's Windsor real estate market update for July 7, 2023. Now, in the summertime, what we always have happen in the first week after school lets out is we always have the market fall apart. It looks really, really crazy and really, really terrible. Let's see what the days on the let's go and pull up supply here. Supply on the market was, should have had that done before my video here, but I wanted to get this video going. Supply is Windsor LaSalle Tecumseh 797. Let's write that down over here, 797 supply. We are building up a massive amount of supply in the $1 million house bracket, million and above. We have very little supply at the $500,000 market. Just very, very little supply. I've got clients looking in the $500,000 market. Speaking of that, I do need buyers. As you know, what I do for my buyers that's different is that we go out and we seek to find you a house. When we find you a house, you move in, I send you a massive check for 10% of the commission that I earn. So, I wear out my car driving you around and help you with all of the different moving pieces. You move in and you get a massive check from me for 10% of my commission. There is no other realtor that I know of that's doing 10%. There might be one or two out here in Windsor, but none that I know of. You can work with any realtor you would like to. However, I believe that degrees and designations and experience is valuable. Just like if you're a seller, I'm the only realtor that I know of, again, that will give you a 20% discount off of commission. And we'll do some video to be able to get your house sold. None of the other houses here had video. Maybe one. And no video that was introduced by the realtor. Just happen to have that skill set. So let's dive into this week's data. Now, last week we sold 72 houses. This week we sold 51. As I said, that week after school lets out, everybody goes on vacation, they all stop looking. Now, it's either that's causing it, that's normal market, or interest rate rises, which are now at 5.86 in some cases, percent, are causing some problems. But interest rates are going to 7. So if you have something less than 5.86 you can lock in, by all means lock it in, because they're going to 7 in my view. I just had a client ask me today, well, do you think they're going to go up to 7 and then come back down in November? I'm like, oh, hell no. It's going to take a long time for rates to come down after they continue to keep climbing. The government needs to slow down this train called an economy. Because other economies around the globe aren't doing what Canada's economy and the United States economy is doing, and we have to make it fair. So slow it down. Anyway, this is 20 less than last week. Not necessarily a good thing. Supply has gone up pretty strongly again. Last week's supply was 745. We're now 797. Now, this does not get to be a concern until we get to about 900. Then suddenly, we have a problem. Supply right now at 797 is just good because we got things to choose from. That's good. You're also going to see that average over is still staying exceptionally strong. So we're going to get into that here now. This week, because we only sold 51 houses, we listed 23,778,000 and we sold 26,735,000 for a difference of about $3 million over. If we take that 3 million over, divide that by 51 houses sold, the average overbid was $58,000. Meaning that if you found a house for $300,000, you better be willing to spend $358,000 to even have a chance of being able to buy it. Even being in the game, a $300,000 house is worth $358,000. A $400,000 house is worth $458,000. A $500,000 house is worth $558,000, depending upon how the realtor has it priced. $200,000 house is worth $258,000, rounded up. So when we think about this, here's a house that was listed for $199,900. As we know, based upon 58, $199,900 plus 58, I need to be at least $258,000 to even have a chance. At least $258,000 to even have a chance. It was a duplex, actually, too. It sold for $270,000. Here's one listed $299,000. Now that's $300,000. In this case, it was over listed. And that's why you need a handy-dandy realtor with you to be able to tell you that, hey, this one here is only worth $300,000 maximum. It's actually priced spot on its market, and I do that. It's just a house in Riverside that was priced at $499,000. It didn't sell because it was priced right at the top of its range. It just wasn't worth that kind of money. It's worth about $485,000. Around there. Maybe $480,000. So then here again, $250,000. So I know I got to be 58 over, so I know $308,000 has a chance of winning it. Again, where did it go? $305,000. If I bid $308,000, would I have won it? Absolutely yes, because I know the data sets. Now, the other thing about this particular house was it was listed at 2.5. As we know, those houses listed at 2 do a little bit less. They don't perform as well. So here's a house listed at $250,000. Okay? I know I need 58, so I know I need to be 308 to even be in the game. But it sold for 321, so I would have lost. 300, 325, I would have won. 250 plus 58 is 308. I would have been close. 250 plus 58 would have been close. 300 plus 58, 358, I would have won. 390, this one was way overpriced for what it was. Sold for less. 300 plus 58, 358, I would have been close. 380 plus 58, I would have won. You can see how the 58,000 becomes important if you're out there buying. This number becomes exceptionally important. How do I know how much roughly to go over a house that's priced under what its market value is? Well, 58,000. I'll tell you that right now, 58,000. That's what the math is. And if it's a really nice, if it's a stunningly beautiful HGTV home, it's going to be more than that. Or if the realtor priced it at $1 on purpose, there was just one today on Cabana that had 40 offers on it because the realtor that brought it to market wanted to waste everybody's time and priced it at $399,900. Now, it was not worth $399,900. It was probably a $600,000 ranch. South Windsor, baby. Cabana, brand new road, right by the university with a massive basement that could be 3 or 4 bedrooms for those students over at St. Clair College. Lots of different opportunities for that house. And it probably sold for somewhere between $590 and $610 in my view. Of course, my client thought, gee, maybe I have a chance at this at $500. I'm like, no, they're just wasting our time. We have to move on. Let me show you this wonderful house in Riverside that you actually have a really good chance on, and Riverside didn't bring any offers. If he would have written on Riverside, because that house was priced at the top of the market, I would have had him write about $480, $485, and it would have been all done today. But because he got swapped up in this whole thing about, oh my gosh, there's this dream house that I could possibly win for $500,000. And I kept saying, no, you don't have a chance. It's worth far more than that. But what do realtors know? Everybody believes that I still know nothing, even though I have all these degrees and designations, and I'm going to get more. And everybody still believes I know nothing. And yet I do the math every single day on my videos, point it all out, I still know nothing. You know nothing, Brian. So the biggest frustration I think that I have is just that. Now, there's always realtors pricing houses at $399 that sell for $525 that should have never been brought to market at $399 too. Should never. But it could have been brought to market at $449. I got a listing coming up when I come back from vacation that I'm going to be bringing up at $449 or $439, somewhere right around in there, to try to get $500,000 out of it. Is it worth $500,000? I don't know. I just don't know. It's stunningly beautiful. It's got an extra housing unit potential in the backyard with a massive 2-car garage. I just don't know if it's $500,000. I don't believe it gets there. I think it gets to $495-ish. I just don't believe it's $500. And there's one thing that holds it back, and that is a gas station in the backyard. A lot of people don't want to look out their backyard and see a gas station. Of course, you can fix that by putting up some skyrocket junipers that'll block that all out. You won't even know it's there. But people would like to have that done already. And this one doesn't have it done already. It would take 4 years for skyrocket junipers to be able to block it out. So we'll see. But that listing will be coming up here soon, and the market is slowing a little bit because it is summertime. People are going on vacation. By 2 weeks from now, the market will be back and hopefully doing 72 again. We'll see. It's normal that the market slows for a week or two. Very normal. Nothing abnormal here going on yet. Now, let's look at, if you're a seller, let's look at what the commission structures were. So there were 23 houses that sold at 2.0% competing broker commission. That was 45% of the listings. There were 3 houses that sold at 2.25% competing broker commission. That was 6% of the market. There were 24 houses that sold at 2.5% competing broker commission. That was 47% of the market. And there was 1 house that sold for 3% competing broker commission, which was just 2% of our market. Now, when I take listings, what I ask you to do is pay me 2%. And I ask you, I beg you, over and over and over again, please, 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 make the competing broker commission 3%. Give me a pay cut, give them a pay raise. The reason for that is that the house overperforms. More people see it. More people want to make an offer on it. It overperforms. And my job as the sell-side realtor is to have your house overperform for you. I'm going to show you ways to be able to get that done. My marketing is a little bit different. Let me show you ways to be able to get that done. That's why if you're thinking about listing your house, you should call me and have some conversation. I'll come over, we'll sit down, and I'll explain it. Very simple stuff, actually, too. Now, how did these percentage commissions perform since we know that our average over was $58,000? At 2%, 102% of the houses, some of them did worse, some of them did far better, but if you average it all out, you could have chosen to list your house at a 2% competing broker commission and still done well. Could have. If you listed at 2.25 competing broker commission, then you would have done far better, 128% of the average over. Your house would have been average over more at 2.25% than it would have been at 2.0. Now, if you did what I asked you to do, then 121%, because there was 1 house that sold 121% over this number at 3%. I'm just asking that you be at least more than 2, and that you be somewhere between 2.25, 2.5, 2.7, or 3. You decide those things depending upon how you want your house to perform. And if you don't want your house to perform very well, then by all means choose 2, because it will just do the average. Won't go over it. Does 100% of the average. Now, at 2.5, there was a couple of houses that were brought to market at 2.5 that actually turned negative numbers. A real estate firm here in the city of Windsor, I really can't point them out here in my list. It's just not fair to them. But there was one specific brokerage here that had some listings that were at 2.5%, and they way underperformed. But that's part of that, I believe, is just the marketing of that firm. It's a small little firm, and I believe that it is part of the problem, that it's a small little firm. In fact, one of their listings is going to be closing off the market because they couldn't get offers on it. It's a little bit of a tough house to sell, it is. But anyway, I digress. But there was a couple of those that were 2.5 that way underperformed because of the brokerage that was selling them, in my view. I don't know anything, though. I just have degrees and designations in real estate and part of the board, but I still know nothing about real estate, apparently. So 2.5% did really well, 92%, 92.8% of overperformance. The chance to overperform was 92.8. So you can see that either 2.25 or 3.0, nobody did 2.75, and that's a nice sweet spot. It really is. Nobody's doing it, then you'd be the only listing at 2.75, and everybody would be paying attention to you. It just makes sense. Hello, it's common sense. It just is what it is. So at the end of the day, everybody kind of performed well for the 51 houses. This also tells me how strong the market actually physically was. They all did well. Right? The 51 houses that we sold, there was nothing indicative of a crappy market. It was still 57,000 over. And last week we were 50,000 over on average. It's just we did less volume. That's all it was. Less volume, meaning less people buying because more people were on vacation, taking the kids out for the summertime because they just got out of school. It's what happens. It's normal, natural. Everybody jumps in their camper and goes. So nothing wrong because 58,000 average over. Right? And there were only 7 houses that sold under bid. Okay? Which was only 13.7%. Last week, there were 12 houses underbid, which was 16% of our market. So you can see, strong, resilient market, still nothing going on. It's just volume slowed down. So everybody's on vacation. So all the data sets show you over and over and over again. I've pointed it out. I've gone through all the data sets to tell you that there's nothing indicatively broken about Windsor real estate. It's just that there's nobody buying right now because everybody's on vacation. Just is what it is. Hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed this week's performance of the Windsor real estate market. The average, I didn't do the average selling price. Let me do the average selling price here too while I have you on the computer or on the video. Let's take 26,735, 512, divide that by 51. The average selling price in Windsor, Essex County was $524,225 was the average. That means that half of the houses, 25 of the houses were above this number and 25 of the houses were below this number. So all that means, average selling price $824. If we compare to what last week was, average selling price was $542. So did the average selling price come down a little bit? Yes, as a matter of fact, it did, because there's less people out there buying. Because they're all on vacation. But the rest of the market was exceptionally strong. It just means that there were people on vacation. That's all that means. Have a great day. If I can help you understand Windsor real estate in any way, don't hesitate to give me a call. If there's an estate where you need help cleaning it out, or you're moving to retirement village and you need help with the whole moving experience, do not hesitate to give me a call. My name is Brian, 519-995-6900. 6145. Bye-bye.